the little girl suffered years of abuse before she died, and Child and Family Services knew about it.
Shelby Miller spoke with one of the women who reported Aniya's abuse to police. Shelby, what did she tell you tonight?
Yeah, I sat down with Tamika Robinson, a worker at Harbor Crest, which is where Aniya went to daycare for years. Tamika tells me Aniya came to daycare beaten, bloodied, and bruised. At one point, the 4-year-old had to be rushed to the ER. Tamika reached out to police and told them about that abuse. She says the system failed this innocent child. Police dash cam footage captures paramedics rushing little Aniya Day Garrett's lifeless body into the back of an ambulance Sunday. The medical examiner says the 4-year-old had been hit in the head, burned, and nearly starved before she died.
Your child is not breathing?
No. Aniya is gone, and she's never coming back. Never coming back.
This was Tamika Robinson's worst fear. She works at Harbor Crest in Euclid, where Aniya went to daycare. She says the 4-year-old was sweet and playful, but also shy. It was clear she longed to be loved.
And her hug wasn't a soft hug. It was a very compassionate, strong hug that she'll hold you at least 2 minutes before she let go.
Tamika believed the little girl was being abused by her mom, Sierra Day. She says the toddler came to daycare with bumps, cuts, and bruises.
And I was like, Aniya, what happened to your face? Oh my God. And she was like, Mommy pushed my face in the carpet. But Mommy said I fell at the park. 3 days later, Aniya walks in the door. Aniya has 3 lumps in her head with blood clots in them. Aniya is bleeding from her ear.
May 18th, 2017, Aniya was rushed to the hospital. That's the same day Tamika handed over more than a dozen abuse reports to Euclid Police and Cuyahoga County Child and Family Services.
I gave everything to the police that they needed to know that Aniya had been being abused for a long time.
Police say a social worker reviewed it and closed the case 6 weeks later, leaving the little girl with her mom. Tamika says the state needs to work harder to protect children like Aniya.
You can never take a child willingly, but this one child I wish I would have took and suffered the consequences.
This Euclid police report right here shows 14 serious abuse allegations, and in more than half of them, Aniya says her mom hit her. Since getting my hands on this report this afternoon, I reached out to Child and Family Services multiple times, and they have not returned my calls or my emails. Aniya's mom and her mom's boyfriend face aggravated murder charges in this case. Tiffany?
Now, that's the really sad part, that it was reported to CPS that this poor little girl was getting abused for months. They had paper upon paper upon paper of reports stating that this poor baby was being abused at home. Knots on her head, malnourished, starved basically, beaten. Come on now. She had to even be rushed to the emergency room. It's crazy that this child was not taken from this home. I mean, come on now. That's just neglect, not just on the parent's part or the mother's part, but Child Protective Services. Come on. The name is Child Protective Services. But who are they protecting? They basically let that child stay in that home up until that child's untimely demise. Not only is it the fault of the parent, but now after hearing all this come out and come to light, it's Child Protective Services that also failed this child. This could have been prevented. She could have been in a loving home with someone who loved her. Her father wanted her so badly. What was so wrong that she couldn't be with the father or the grandparents or foster care if she couldn't, if nobody was, I guess, qualified to take the poor child. The fact that this child had to suffer all this time and ultimately die in a house of abuse is just crazy. Crazy. And the child care worker did what she was supposed to do. She reported everything she saw. She did the right thing. It's sad that the ball was dropped on this one. So sad. How you guys feeling about this case? I know everybody feels a lot disturbed by the facts of this case. But when it comes to the way it's being handled or had been handled, how you guys feeling about that? Especially now knowing that several reports were made in regards to this poor child's well-being. Little Aniya was allowed to stay in their home after 10, 12 reports were made that that child was being abused. That child was rushed to the emergency room, bleeding out of her ear. How you guys feel about all that? Does the system not care about ethnic children? You guys tell me how you feel. Peace and love. You know how we do it. We chop it up in the comment section. And we ain't done that in a while, so I can't wait to see how you guys are feeling about this one. This is a tough, tough one, guys. Tough one. My heart breaks for this one. Hell, my heart be breaking for all of them. But rest in peace, baby girl. And prayers up to that family.